the depths of human history, there are moments that shine with a light so pure, so selfless, that they echo across generations and inspire countless souls. The story of Saint Maximilian Kolbe is one such beacon. His life, woven into the darkest chapter of the 20th century, stands as a testament to the extraordinary power of love, sacrifice, and unwavering faith. Born in 1894 in the small Polish town of Zdunska Wola, Maximilian Kolbe grew up in a humble family, shaped by deep Catholic faith and a longing to serve. Even as a boy, he dreamed of heroism, of giving himself completely for a noble cause. Legend tells us that at the age of 12, after a moment of youthful mischief, he knelt before a statue of the Virgin Mary, who appeared to him in a vision. She offered him 2 crowns, one white, representing purity, and one red, symbolizing martyrdom. When asked which he would choose, the young Maximilian replied, "I accept both." This profound moment would set the course of his entire life. Ordained as a Franciscan priest, Father Kolbe's zeal for God and humanity knew no bounds. He founded monasteries, published newspapers, and used every medium available to spread a message of hope and faith. His work took him as far as Japan, where he established a mission in Nagasaki. Yet, despite his many achievements, it was his return to Poland during the spreading shadow of World War II that would test his resolve in ways few could imagine. When Nazi Germany invaded Poland, Kolbe's monastery became a refuge for thousands: Jews, refugees, the displaced, and the desperate. But in February 1941, he was arrested by the Gestapo and eventually transported to Auschwitz, a place synonymous with humanity's capacity for cruelty and despair. Stripped of his priestly robes and assigned the number 16670, Father Kolbe entered a world ruled by terror. Yet even in the bleak confines of the camp, he remained a source of comfort and hope, sharing his meager rations, encouraging fellow prisoners, and quietly tending to the sick and dying. Then, in July 1941, came the moment that would define his legacy forever. After an escape attempt by a fellow prisoner, the camp commandant ordered 10 men to be chosen at random to die as a warning to others. As the names were called, a cry of anguish pierced the silence. A man named Franciszek Gajowniczek, a husband and father, begged for mercy, lamenting the fate of his wife and children. Moved by a compassion that transcended fear, Maximilian Kolbe stepped forward. In a voice steadied by conviction, he offered himself in the man's place. The astonished guards, unused to such selflessness, agreed. Kolbe was sent with the others to a starvation bunker, a place where hope was meant to die. Yet, the darkness of that cell was pierced by something extraordinary. Instead of bitterness and despair, the prisoners found themselves surrounded by prayer, hymns, and words of encouragement. Father Kolbe led them in faith, ministering to each one as they slowly succumbed. For 2 weeks, he sustained them in spirit, even as their bodies withered. When he alone remained, steadfast in his resolve, the guards ended his life with a lethal injection on August 14, 1941. Maximilian Kolbe's sacrifice did more than spare one man from death. It became a symbol of the greatest love, a love that gives itself completely for the sake of others. His actions embodied the words of Christ. Greater love has no one than this, that someone lay down his life for his friends. For Kolbe, those words were not an abstract ideal, but a living reality, carried out in the most harrowing circumstances. In the aftermath, Franciszek Gajowniczek survived the war and spent his life telling the world about the man who took his place. Through his testimony, Kolbe's legacy grew, reaching far beyond the barbed wire of Auschwitz. In 1982, Pope John Paul II canonized Maximilian Kolbe, declaring him a martyr of charity and a patron saint for our times. But what does Kolbe's example mean for us? living in a world so different from the horrors of the past. Few of us will face the ultimate test of laying down our lives for another. Yet the call to sacrificial love is not confined to grand, heroic gestures. It is found in the everyday moments, when we choose to listen rather than speak, to forgive rather than hold a grudge, to offer comfort rather than criticism. Maximilian Kolbe teaches us that love is measured not by the scale of the sacrifice, but by the willingness to give of ourselves, however small or hidden the act may be. In our families, workplaces, and communities, opportunities abound to step forward and say, "I will take their place." Perhaps not in literal death, but in the daily dying to self that true love requires. Imagine the impact if each of us chose to respond to suffering, not with indifference but with compassion. If we dared to stand with the outcast, to support the weak, to offer hope where there is none. The world is in desperate need of such love, a love that risks, that gives, that endures. Saint Maximilian Kolbe's life is a powerful reminder that even in the darkest times, light can shine. That even in the face of evil, goodness can prevail. His legacy invites us to reflect. What would I do if faced with the same choice? How can I give myself for others today? We may never be called to the starvation bunker of Auschwitz, but each day presents its own small crucibles. In these moments, we are offered our own crowns of purity, of sacrifice, of love. Like Kolbe, may we have the courage to accept both and to live lives that bear witness to the greatest love of all.